Have you ever felt like life is spiraling out of control, leaving you overwhelmed and gasping for air? It's that suffocating sensation where no matter how hard you try, everything feels chaotic and unmanageable. Maybe it's the endless to-do lists, the constant notifications buzzing on your phone, or even the weight of expectations you've placed on yourself. Anxiety creeps in, stealing your sleep and leaving you restless at night, your mind racing with what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. You might even notice your body reacting, tight chest, shaky hands, or that knot in your stomach that just won't go away. It's like being trapped in a storm, desperately searching for an anchor. But here's the thing. What if the anchor isn't about controlling the storm, but learning how to navigate through it? Let's explore that idea a little further. In today's world, it feels like we're constantly under siege, bombarded by news headlines, social media updates, and the endless noise of society telling us who to be and how to live. It's no wonder our nervous systems are on high alert, leaving us emotionally dysregulated and struggling to find balance. Think about it. How often do you scroll through your phone and feel a wave of anxiety from all the bad news or the pressure to keep up? It's exhausting, right? This external chaos seeps into our internal world, making it harder to stay grounded and in control. And when everything around us feels overwhelming, it's easy to lose sight of what we can control. But what if the key isn't about shutting out the noise entirely, but learning how to filter it? Let's dig deeper into how this connects to something called the locus of control. At the heart of feeling overwhelmed lies a powerful concept, the locus of control. Simply put, it's the belief about what we can and cannot influence in our lives. When we focus too much on things outside our control, like other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, or even the weather, it's easy to slip into a victim mindset. This is when we feel helpless, hopeless, and at the mercy of life's chaos. On the flip side, when we shift our attention to what's within our control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we start to reclaim our power. Imagine this. Instead of obsessing over why someone canceled plans last minute, you choose to spend that time doing something you enjoy. It's not about ignoring the frustration, but reframing it. So, how does this idea tie into deeper emotional struggles like trauma? Trauma has a sneaky way of amplifying everything, especially when it comes to feeling out of control. Take the collective experience of COVID-19. For example, it wasn't just a global health crisis. It was a shared trauma that left many of us feeling dysregulated, stuck in survival mode, and unsure of what the future held. Now, layer that with personal traumas like childhood experiences of neglect or emotional wounds, and the weight becomes even heavier. For some, these old stories of abandonment or rejection resurface, making it harder to stay grounded in the present. Even if your past doesn't involve major trauma, the nervous system remembers moments of stress and fear, creating patterns that can feel impossible to break. But here's the thing. Understanding these patterns is the first step toward healing. And speaking of patterns, let's take a closer look at how they show up in our personal stories. Patterns often take root in childhood, shaping the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Imagine a young child striving for perfection, believing that if they just do everything right, they'll earn more love or attention. Maybe it's a parent who is always busy, working long hours, leaving the child to internalize the idea that they weren't good enough to deserve more time. Fast forward to adulthood, and these patterns evolve into perfectionism, workaholism, or the constant hustle for worth. It's like running on a treadmill, chasing validation that always feels just out of reach. And when things don't go as planned, like a project failing or someone criticizing your efforts, it triggers that old story of not being enough. But how does this play out in something as modern as creating content on YouTube? For content creators, the pressure to perform can feel relentless. Imagine pouring your heart into a video only to see it underperform. Fewer views, fewer likes, and that creeping doubt whispering, maybe I'm just not good enough. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? The reality is, so much of what happens in the world of YouTube is out of your control. Algorithm changes, audience preferences, or even the time of day you post. Yet, it's easy to let these external factors dictate your every dip in engagement can feel like a personal failure, triggering those old patterns of needing to prove yourself. But here's the truth. Your value isn't tied to metrics. Recognizing this is the first step to breaking free, and once you start seeing these patterns for what they are, you can begin to rewrite the narrative. Recognizing patterns is like turning on a light in a dark room. You start to see what's been shaping your thoughts and behaviors all along. Often, these patterns stem from old stories we've carried for years. Stories that tell us we he not enough, that we have to hustle for love, or that failure defines us. But here's the catch. Those stories belong to the past, not the present. For instance, if you find yourself spiraling after a setback, ask yourself, is this reaction about what's happening now, or is it tied to something I've felt before? This kind of self-awareness is powerful because it helps you separate what's real from what's a leftover narrative. And once you see the difference, you can start to take back control. When you're stuck in a freeze state, it can feel like the world is closing in on you. Your thoughts race, your body feels heavy, and taking any step forward seems impossible. But here's the secret. Action is the antidote to stagnation. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Even the smallest movement can help break the cycle. For example, take a shower, organize your desk, or send that text you've been avoiding. These seemingly simple actions signal to your nervous system that you're not stuck. You're moving. And the beauty of this is that the action doesn't even have to be directly tied to the problem at hand. It's about shifting your energy and regaining a sense of control. Once you start moving, you'll notice how the fog begins to lift. But why does this work so well? Stress responses are your body's way of protecting you, but they don't always work in your favor. You've probably heard of the classic fight or flight response, but there are two others that often get overlooked. Freeze and fawn. When you're in a freeze state, it's like your body hits the pause button. You feel stuck, unable to act, and overwhelmed by the weight of it all. Fawn, on the other hand, is when you overplease or over-accommodate to avoid conflict. While these responses are natural, they can keep you trapped if you don't know how to navigate them. The key is to shift from passive responses, like freezing, to action-based ones. For instance, instead of staying paralyzed by anxiety, you might try grounding exercises or even shaking out your body to release pent-up energy. But how do you channel all that chaos into something productive? Journaling isn't just about writing down what happened during your day. It's a therapeutic tool that can help you untangle the chaos in your mind. When life feels overwhelming, grabbing a pen and letting your thoughts spill onto paper can be incredibly grounding. But here's the trick. Don't just write about the events. Focus on your frustrations, your fears, and the things that feel out of control. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a missed deadline, write about why it's bothering you. Is it fear of judgment? A sense of failure? Once it's on paper, you can start to challenge those thoughts and reframe them. Journaling isn't about perfection. It's about clarity. And when you pair it with cognitive reframing, it becomes a powerful tool for cognitive reframing is like putting on a new pair of glasses. It helps you see situations from a different perspective. At its core, it's about challenging automatic thoughts that often spiral into negativity. Let's say a friend cancels plans last minute. Your initial reaction might be, they don't value me, or I must have done something wrong. But reframing asks you to pause and consider alternative explanations. Maybe they're overwhelmed, or something urgent came up. This shift doesn't dismiss your feelings, but helps you approach the situation with more balance. On a personal level, reframing can be a game changer when life feels out of control. Instead of thinking, this is happening to me, try asking, what can I learn from this? It's not always easy, but it's a skill that grows with practice. It's natural to interpret events through the lens of our own experiences. We're the main characters in our own stories, after all. But this tendency can sometimes lead us to assume that everything is about us, especially in moments of stress or conflict. For example, if someone seems distant, we might think, did I do something wrong? Or are they upset with me? When, in reality, they could be dealing with their own struggles. Shifting away from this self-centered thinking doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means broadening your perspective. Try asking yourself, what else could be going on here? Or is this really about me? This small mental shift can reduce overthinking and help you approach situations with more empathy and clarity. And when you combine this with tools like journaling and reframing, it becomes easier to let go of unnecessary emotional weight. Let's wrap things up with a final reflection on regaining control in your life. Regaining control in your life isn't about controlling everything. It's about focusing on what truly matters and what's within your power. By understanding your patterns, reframing your thoughts, and using tools like journaling and small, intentional actions, you can start to break free from cycles of overwhelm. Remember, it's not about perfection or fixing everything overnight. It's about progress, one step at a time. Life will always have its uncertainties. But when you shift your focus to what you can influence, your mindset, your actions, and your responses, you reclaim your power. So, the next time life feels chaotic? Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now to move forward? That's how you start to build a life that feels more balanced, more intentional, and more in your control. Now that you have the tools to recognize patterns, challenge negative thoughts, and take back control of your life, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you stay stuck in the same cycles, or will you take the first step toward real change? What's stopping you from acting today? Start small. Try journaling. Take a simple action to break free from paralysis, or reflect on how you can rewrite the stories holding you back. And I want to hear from you. What's the first step you'll take? Share your thoughts in the comments and inspire others who might be going through the same struggles. If this content helped you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning about mental health, anxiety, and how to live a more intentional life. Let's keep growing together.